Alright. Well, like I told you, hello viewers. You know what? Like I told you viewers, like a lot of the games that we played back in the TurboGrafx days, Panasonic 3DO, Neo Geo days, Sega Master System 8-bit Nintendo days, uh, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, PS1. A lot of those games are open world games. And I've always told you, open world games are the best. So, and Crazy Taxi is an open world game. And it shouldn't be in the state that it is. It needs to be open world. You know, just like how Forza Horizon 2 map and 3 map is, that's how big Crazy Taxi need to be, or even bigger, you know, or Forza Horizon 4 map. So when it comes to Crazy Taxi now, they're talking about it's going to have online multiplayer and big emphasis on freedom and chaos. So Crazy Taxi needs to be an open world game. Hello viewers, another beautiful day, yep, or night. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good, or excellent. So new Crazy Taxi has online multiplayer, big emphasis on freedom. So if you're talking about freedom, that means Crazy Taxi needs to be an open world. A lot of those games that we played in the past, they were open world games. It's just that the hardware was limited, you know, and you only could build the game for what it is based on the hardware that you had. So yeah. So, but Forza Horizon changed all that. When it comes to car driving games, Forza Horizon took car racing games to a whole nother level, you know, and even put Need for Speed on notice. You know, like you need to be open world. You know, you can't just be in the same format. You know. Yep. Anyway, so what do we got here? Sega new Crazy Taxi will be a live service game, complete with online multiplayer, but the project is currently in early phases of development. Crazy Taxi don't need to be a live service. It shouldn't be. It needs to be. Crazy Taxi needs to be open world. Period. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, listen to this. Says here, Sega revealed new info about this upcoming Crazy Taxi game, confirming that it will have multiplayer elements. It's like that Crazy Taxi is part of Sega Ambitious Super Game Initiative. And then it says, like most publishers, these games, Sega is also chasing the billion-dollar live service craze. Sega currently announced the new game based on the classic franchise like Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi were in the works, and how we have solid confirmation that at least one of these will be an online driven. According to a new Sega developer interview, the new Crazy Taxi, that title, will have live service elements complete with online multiplayer. This isn't a surprise. We've discussed this in parts, but we now have a better understanding on what to expect from the outrageous chaotic racer. It says check below for more info lifted from the video, including quotes directly from developer auto translation from Japanese. The game is currently in early stages of development. Team is experimenting with lots of different things. Cities will be realistic. Will emphasize player freedom and messiness while roaming around the city. Maps will have theme parks and atmosphere. Then it says, we are in the process of creating a completely new Crazy Taxi game with content that will allow you to experience all kinds of thrills driving experience and have fun with a variety of people instead of just playing alone. And it says, in order to provide such content, we are putting together a complete new form. We are trying to put together gameplay with various elements, but the reality is that we still don't have enough developers to put it together. We're considering making it more advanced from previous game. In the past, Crazy Taxi was mainly a solo game. Right now we are considering a multiplayer game. Since it's multiplayer, there are new elements such as networking and new gimmicks that may be introduced, and that is that. Look Sega, look, Crazy Taxi needs to be open world. Jet Grind Radio, Jet Set Future Racing, they need to be open world. If you're talking about doing a Shinobi, that needs to be open world. Like what's that ninjas game? I'm trying to think. Like Shikuro Shadow Die. Oh, it's Shadow Die Twice. It needs to be open world. Vector Man needs to be open world. A lot of the games that you have needs to be open world. Even what's that? Sewer Shark or Ground Zero Texas, whatever games you have, they need to be open world. So if you're doing a Crazy Taxi game, that game has to be an open world game. And you're talking about freedom of movement, then it has to be in an open world format. You can have a single player experience, and you can have a multiplayer experience, and you can have a co-op experience. Okay, yeah. That game needs to be open world. Or if you want to have a PvP, player versus player, where they compete against each other to see who can get the most, pick up the most passengers in a taxi. Okay, fine, but the maps need to be big, or even bigger than like bigger than Forza Horizon 2 and 3. So you can't go back to the format that it was in, because if you look at the Crazy Taxis that was on the Dreamcast, or even the ones that got ported, you can tell the hardware was limited. But with the hardware they have now, you can expand on the environment and make it more realistic, chaotic, and even fun. You know, so yeah. Because we're talking about being a taxi driver, so yeah, it would be like Crazy Taxi should look like how I would say like how Marvel Spider-Man on the PS4 looks. When you see all those cars driving in the city streets and all that. Now put Crazy Taxi in that format and then take it from there. But yeah, it needs to be open world. It needs to be. But based on this article though, they're talking about is in early stages. They're experimenting with a lot of different things. Cities will be realistic. Will emphasize player freedom. That means it has to be open world. And meanness. While roaming around in the city, maps will have theme parks and atmosphere. The maps need to have more than just theme parks. It needs to have cities, towns, countrysides, whatever. You know, yeah, neighborhoods. You know, where you go pick players up, and you're trying to be live service. Live service games work good with if you're trying to do it from like a Forza Horizon standpoint, then you need to have offline play too, just in case if the live service part doesn't work. Yeah, but the maps need to be big and they need to be open, and they need to have all the elements, all the weather conditions, and yeah, time zones, and yeah, time change, and yeah, you need to have all that. So if you guys are experimenting with that, then that's what they need. That's how they're gonna have to approach it. You know, they can't go back to the basic Crazy Taxi game. Can't do that. video games have changed and times have changed. So yeah, that game needs to be open world. Yeah. This article has a video too, so I will leave the link in the description box. But if you're talking Crazy Taxi, just look. Forza Horizon will give you an idea on what the game, or how big the map should be, and you know, and then what the game can be like. So yeah. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole thing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars, Star Trek 9, Dark Section. Go. Peace.